Night of the Living podcast is always ad-free for patrons at patreon.com/NOTLP.
That was real quick fade out, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I didn't mean to make anybody feel
Abrupt.
like, whoa, like the fucking trap door open or anything. It happens.
You're okay. You're still standing on solid ground.
I just slid it too fast. That's all that happens. Okay. Everybody's okay. I'm Freddy. That's Amy.
Hello.
Andy's okay. How's he doing?
It's premature. Is it? That's what happens when you get older, you know?
Yeah.
Premature sliding.
Whoa. Frights. Camera Hack-tion.
Yes.
We're doing
That's our theme.
the blend of horror and action. We just did From Dusk Till Dawn last week. So we were like early, mid 90s, and now we're pushing into the late 90s with Alien Resurrection from writer Joss Whedon. That Joss Whedon, yeah.
Problematic.
And director Jean-Pierre Jeunet, who did Amelie and Delicatessen.
Huh. What an interesting selection to do next.
He's awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know if anything bad's come out about him yet. Or I'm not allowed to
Well,
think
he's
awesome.
a French director, so I wouldn't put it past him.
Yeah, like
Did
he
you hear
probably put
that?
his thumb in someone's butt without
French
asking.
people? We don't
Not
trust
trying to
y'all.
stereotype French directors, but
But
they just seem very freewheeling and anything goes.
Artistes.
they can be.
We'll be getting to that for the main attraction.
Yeah.
Patreon, that's how we do this, how we keep it going. Patreon.com/NOTLP. Thank you if you're a patron so much for your support.
Yeah.
If you've never been a patron, consider becoming one. I'm trying to fill Kelley's big shoes and designing some cool feelies for you guys.
Some merchandise that you get for your patronage.
I wonder how big his feet are actually.
Kelly's feet?
But they're pretty big.
Yeah.
He's our old
He's
friend.
like what, 6'5"?
If you're wondering.
Is Kelley 6'5"?
He's pretty tall.
He's real tall, yeah.
So I assume he's at least like size 10, size 12 maybe, probably.
Yeah.
If Kelley stands up straight, he's a little taller than you
Yeah.
think. He just doesn't always present his full height.
And that's the Kelley update.
Yeah, that's how Kelley's been. Still tall. We went and saw the re-release of Monty Python and the Holy Grail. I went with Kelley and Elise. We had a grand old time. And these two, they don't like it because they hate nerds. These two are bullies.
He's talking about me and Andy, and we're
Yeah.
not bullies. Thank you.
It's
You're
funny.
being a
We
bully.
hate nerds. And
Yeah.
You know who we're talking to? Is
Yes.
it nerd on nerd violence?
It is
Bitch,
nerd on nerd violence.
I am a nerd.
There's certain things that Amy and Andy won't do, and that is a live screening of the Rocky Horror Picture Show, right?
No, I'm over there.
Are you
actually.
back in?
I
Are you
would go
okay with
back.
that?
No,
So you go back? Okay.
I don't know if I was to go see a live version, but I'm back on the Rocky Horror train.
Gotcha.
My trauma's
It's
been
a great movie.
been healed.
Andy had one of the Harry Potter books ruined for him. The last one, right?
Yeah.
Ruined for him at a screening of Rocky Horror by the Rocky Horror actors that were there, the live actors.
I don't think it was just a dude in the crowd.
Yeah, it was just
Never
one
mind.
guy.
It was just a guy there,
But
and
they-
it ruined Rocky Horror for him.
They got collateral blame.
Yeah.
The cast did.
Yeah.
Because they created an environment where someone could shout out the spoiler to Andy's book.
What spoiler was it?
Who died in the books?
Oh, you don't want to say still? In
I
case
mean, it's
there's
been-
children that have never
He spit out every
read it.
single character death, like rapid
Yeah.
fire.
die.
And plus, it was also a lot of theater kids is acting up.
Yeah.
I mean, I should have expected that, but it was just a little too much for
much
my
for you.
tastes.
Yeah.
And also,
Yeah.
I'm 45 now, and that's just a little.
Is the pressure? I think for me, it's the pressure to participate is the thing where I'm like, no, it's okay, but I like watching you guys do it. You
Yeah.
have fun. I'll enjoy it. I feel very peepaw when I was there.
Well, it
You know,
And
started
we were
off
in our
as
30s then.
Yeah.
Now we're in our
Yeah.
40s.
and it also started off. They said, "Any first timers to this
Oh,
live
yeah.
experience?
virgins is what they call them.
Come on
Andy.
up!" And they lined us all up, and they humped us.
we got all bent over by strangers and they humped us.
Yeah.
And that was a time in my life.
It's actually it's 50 years now, isn't it?
Yeah, for Rocky
Since
Horror.
we were there.
Yes.
No, I'm just kidding.
Well,
Feels like it.
We're having Jaws 50th. They just had another big 50th. It was
Sally O'Malley.
Sally O'Malley.
I'm
Sorry, that's a very old 90s SNL reference for you guys.
Holy Grail, what I was just talking about. Monty Python.
yeah.
That was the 50th. So 50 years ago, we had the Holy Grail.
SNL just had their 50s too, didn't they?
Jaws.
Who?
Well, who else?
Was it SNL?
SNL had their 50.
SNL.
Wow, there's a lot of good shit made 50 years ago.
Yeah.
So how was the crowd at the Monty
crowd?
Yeah.
There was
it
no
just
crowd, Andy. There was like another guy in there.
just you and you three and another person?
There was maybe one or two other people in there.
Oh, that's kind of sad.
It's a 50-year-old movie, man. Everybody's dead.
But it's a classic.
Yeah, but they're dead. That doesn't make it any,
But they're dead.
The fans are dead. We're the last generation
And
of
you're
fans.
just the emotionally dead.
Yeah. This Gen X, I think, is the last Monty Python fandom base, right? I can't imagine. I don't know. Is it carrying?
I have no idea.
Do millennials and
I don't know many people younger than me.
Channel Z people?
You know what? I can ask. I know some youngers.
Ask them what they think of Monty Python
Or if
And
they
I'll
heard
see
of
them in the
it.
office tomorrow, and I'm going to go, okay.
and report back. Please do.
Monty
for real.
P. Y'all ever heard
Well,
of it?
I remember watching it, Monty Python, like the show and stuff like that on PBS.
Yeah.
So and do people watch PBS anymore?
I don't know. I don't
have so
really
many
think
other
I do,
options.
but I'm a weirdo.
I mean,
I'm a PBS supporter usually. I don't know
like
if I'm gonna do it.
TV
this
like
year.
that doesn't really exist anymore. Or like
Yeah.
sitting
need
down and
you-
just watching stuff.
They
You
do.
kind of plan and like watch it at your own leisure.
Mm-hmm.
Straight up, this has nothing to do with what we're talking about, but this is the year to support PBS or NPR because they're getting their funding cut.
Yeah. So
Their federal
I'll
funding
mail
cut.
my form back in.
Yes, we have to send some
I'll dig
money.
it out.
I don't
Wherever
want
it
to
is.
support those commie rags.
The Antiques Roadshow and Austin City Limits are the reasons that I have to have my PBS.
I love the Antiques Roadshow.
Don't forget Red Green and Lawrence Welk.
And are you being served?
I wish they still showed those. You can find them online though.
Yeah. You're going to be okay. You're still going to get what you need.
Yeah.
Don't you worry.
I mean, was it like did the movie look better? Did they like clean it up?
I mean, it was it's a beautiful print of the movie, but it's still a 70s low budget movie. It looks great on big screen, but it's no Lawrence of Arabia or anything. Yeah. It's fun to see. For me, the biggest difference was seeing the props up close, like the books that they made with all the illuminated manuscripts that they did by hand. I was always really impressed with the animation more than anything.
Were you guys shouting at the screen like a Rocky Horror?
No, but Kelley was in real time reciting the screenplay to himself.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, but you couldn't really tell because he was locked in. You know what I mean? Like, so he knows it.
He probably
So,
He was
probably
harmonizing with it.
he was harmonizing with
He
it.
probably didn't realize he was doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he said before he went in, he was like, "I hope it's not real crowded, so I can do the thing I do every time I watch this movie." And I was like, "That's fine."
Well, like, do you guys have a movie that you do that with?
No,
That you don't
I don't speak along
Yeah.
to the. I mean, like it's
in
not
your
that
mind, not
funny.
out loud, but in your mind even.
Like some dialogue, maybe some stuff in like Karate Kid or stuff that's just burned into your memory forever, like just catchphrases, but not like whole stretches and whole exchanges between characters.
Yeah, I don't really have that.
Yeah, I wish I did. I mean, we used to do plays, and I'd have to memorize stuff like that, but I couldn't imagine now.
Can you imagine going to
Doing it.
see a play of that? Like a play that you did and reciting it along?
Yeah, just knowing all my lines
Yeah.
and everybody else's lines. That would been like that's a game for somebody who doesn't have Swiss cheese brain. I don't even retain movies that I watched last night. They just
There's so
everything
many
about
of
them.
them.
Yeah, I watch a lot of
That-
movies,
Do they have value? The same kind of value?
but sometimes they do. You hit like something like Miami Connection, and I'll never forget that movie.
Yeah.
And that's an old movie that I saw for the first time when it was already old, but it was so crazy.
No, yeah, it's like I can imagine you doing the Quint speech during Jaws.
I remember a lot of the Quint speech, but I would fuck it up. Like somebody who is like a hardcore Jaws fan would be totally horrified at my recollection of the Quint speech. I would probably pepper in some Dr. Loomis by mistake. Maybe some of the Purple Pie Man of whatever lane.
Doll's eyes. And you're like, wait a minute. Sharks have doll's eyes.
Yeah. That would be it. See, it all connects. It's a mess up there, man. Dialogue wise. I remember
just dialogue?
shots. I can tell you exactly shots and like what ratio of the screen like this was in, and from my favorite movies like Jaws, I can close my eyes now and play the whole movie visually, and it'd probably be pretty accurate.
Oh, so we can sell your physical copy of it, so you don't need to watch it again?
I don't have a physical one
you don't?
anymore. No.
All digital.
I'm one of those weirdos that I'm like, you know what? I get that one day they may take something totally away from me in the digital realm and I'll never have it again the way I know it. But that's a risk I take because I like being able to stretch out my legs in my home, not knock over a shelf. And it's a small house, so.
You don't want to be buried underneath a mountain of DVDs when you get older?
Yeah, like even 10 DVDs is too many for me. I'm like, that's too much. That's
You
like a
start
whole
to
shelf.
sweat.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, what am I going to do with all these discs? Put them in one of those guns from like I Come in Peace and shoot them at people, I guess.
There you go.
A DVD gun?
Yeah. It cuts people's heads off. It's pretty wicked. I Come in Peace.
I think I've ever seen that.
I don't know. Have I seen it?
Yeah, you saw it last year. It's come up a few times, actually. That's the thing. You're like, you don't remember, but it was Dolph Lundgren and the Alien shot CDs.
Oh, yeah.
That's the movie.
All right.
Kind of a classic.
Sorry.
In the right circles. Some circles would consider it kind of a classic.
I apologize.
The same people that think Time
I didn't
Cop
mean
is
to-
kind of a classic.
disparage
Or Universal Soldier.
the classic, the iconic I Come in Peace.
Well, it's okay. It is horror action month after all.
I apologize.
It's the worst time of year to get that sort of thing
I
wrong.
know.
So offensive.
To what?
Action
movies?
stars.
Oh.
Action
Dolph
movies and the
Lundgren.
people who make them. Do you guys want to get into it then, or is there anything for the top?
Yeah, let's get into
We're
it.
so sedate.
Slow down.
Turn out lights, it's the main attraction. This week's main attraction is from 1997, Alien Resurrection. This is the fourth film in the series. 2 centuries after her death, a powerful human-alien hybrid clone of Ellen Ripley aids a crew of space pirates in stopping the aliens from reaching Earth. That's a really succinct summary. And that's the end, I guess.
Why?
Why do they do it?
Why are they doing this?
Well, they don't mean to. They get roped into it. They're unwilling. They're the...
No, I
class,
mean,
you know.
why are they cloning Ellen Ripley?
To get to the alien.
The reason in the beginning why they
Yeah.
chose her in particular is because she was the last one who had like a successful, I guess, interaction with the alien.
And like, remember
That's
in
it?
part 3, like there was an alien in her.
Yeah.
And then but maybe that's the only alien DNA they had or something.
I
Okay.
think
From
they
her.
blatantly said, but I'm not sure.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
And that is something I wrote in my notes. I was just like, why are they doing this?
Well, they wanted her as a host.
And I know they want a host for the alien.
Right. And it had to be her. It had to be her for some reason. I think because they connected, her and the alien had some connection
All right.
that they're like, oh, if the alien grows in her, we're going to get our most robust beefsteak alien.
Ah, yes.
Slice
An
it real
heirloom.
thin. Yeah, an heirloom alien. Yeah. So, what you got? Scientists.
Well, it's like the classic thing
Yeah.
of, no, it doesn't matter like where it came from. It's just like
It is.
the outside forces trying to control it.
Right.
Yeah. And this time it's the military. Last time it was Weyland-Yutani, the evil corporation. And now the military has
Now we're
taken
so
this
far in
over.
the future, Weyland
Yeah.
Yutani doesn't exist anymore.
Did they say they're completely gone?
The way the guy acted,
Yeah, they didn't know. It's like, remember Weyland-Yutani?
Yeah, maybe they're just
Yeah.
not as big, but I
Yeah.
don't know if they ever really disappear because they're such a big part of the alien.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if any other property deals with this far into the timeline. Every other IP, like, you know, the other movies and the games and everything seem to take place right around Alien to Alien 3.
But then you got
this is kind
Then you got the new series with Prometheus that takes place of
that's the prequel way
Yeah.
before. So
hundreds of years before.
yeah, so you get all that. So, but I always feel like the corporations and the militaries and everything are such a big part of this series. Like, I do love this Brad Dourif.
I forgot he was in this.
Yeah,
me too. And I just watched this movie a couple months ago.
he's like the head scientist. He's kind of sweet on the alien a little bit. Like he's kind of nice to it, except he is training it with freezing, like
He's cruel
shooting
to
with a
it.
freezing gas.
No, he's cruel to it.
Yeah, but I think he sees it as like this beautiful thing. I'm not saying
like,
he's nice to
right.
it. Yeah.
Like he sees it as this, like Ian Holm in the first one, like the perfect killing machine.
Yeah.
Like they're so in awe of its beauty and is made to just basically kill.
Right.
So I mean, like it's a beautiful thing. I'd be enraptured by it too.
I mean, it's like a big roach.
Yeah.
It's just horrific. It's very gooey.
No, but I think for me, the design for me, it was always like very
Yes.
engaging and like you couldn't keep your eyes off of it.
No, it's something. It's awesome in the true meaning of the word. Not like awesome, brah. It's awesome.
Awe-inspiring.
Yes,
And I think that's where. Like,
but I don't
he
want to
liked
kiss it.
Yeah.
And I think he wants to kiss it a little.
Yeah, it was a very sexual movie.
Yeah.
Not just from Brad Dourif's character, but there were a lot of other
Yeah.
slinky, sexy moments.
Slinky.
Well, the pirates in the beginning, right? You get what Elgin and his crew of ne'er-do-wells, including Winona Ryder. Shoplifter.
You know what I was like?
Stop it.
So she's got street cred. I mean, for the
She
pirate
was a
role.
shoplifter.
I know, but I hate that's kind of her legacy now.
Oh no,
Nah.
she's overcome that completely.
I think Stranger Things is her legacy now.
and all the great movies that she made.
I think the shoplifting is further down the list.
I shoplifted.
We just remember it because we
She got
lived
caught.
through it. But the current generation's not gonna.
I think we were all like, "Why is she shoplift? She's rich," and we didn't understand that there was another reason for it.
Mm-hmm.
She needed that excitement because she's been blasting aliens and shit, and then she has to go back to live in a regular life. That's what happens when you leave the farm.
She gets bored. She needs some thrill somewhere.
Yeah, that's what it is. But yeah, this crew, I love it. Ron Perlman as this big character who is Jonah or whatever they call him. Mm. He's kind of the prototype for, if you're a Firefly fan, the Jane character, I think.
Really?
I see a similarity between those two, you know? The guy who played, I think Adam Baldwin or whatever his name, and played on Firefly.
Oh, okay.
Well, every team needs a heavy.
Yeah. And it's got a classic kind of heavy character. And then you have Christie, who is the dude from like one of the CSIs, I think.
Oh yeah, he was a CSI guy.
Yeah.
He is the one who he's the guns, the two guns that are
in his sleeves that
in his
shoot out
sleeves.
on rails.
yeah.
But they look like little derringers, don't they? They
They're
don't
very
look like
small.
they have a lot of ammunition. So
Right.
that's a one and get out of there kind of situation, maybe.
Right, but I think he blasted
But
off
these are-
15 shots
Yeah.
from each.
These are space derringers too, so they're going to be more powerful.
Yeah.
That's the future, man.
And then you got Vries and Cal, who are, we find out later, Cal is an android.
Call.
Call, the Winona Ryder character. See, this is like what happens when you get old. You start calling Call.
You can
Cal.
just call him Winona Ryder.
And then it is Vries, was that right? The other guy who is
The
the
wheelchair
mechanic.
guy?
Yeah, who has the wheelchair. Whoa.
It was a big part of his character.
Dominique Pignon, who was in other films by the director, including Amelie and Delicatessen. Ron Perlman, I think, was in City of Lost Children, who same director made. Anyways, it's got that kind of fantasy vibe to it. It's
Yeah.
weird. The pirates have picked up this mysterious cargo they've stolen, and it's people.
It's very Guardians too.
Yeah, definitely.
So why are they bringing these people?
They've
there was-
stolen them.
Yeah, they're like just
bodies?
experiments, like bodies to do experiments on.
Okay,
Yeah, and they're delivering them to the military lab,
And
right?
it's all very hush hush.
I'm
It's
not
like
stupid.
on the
I
books.
swear I watched this movie, but there's a
No,
few
it's a
times
little muddy.
where I'm like, I'm not quite sure.
That was the big criticism of it when it came out too, is the story was hard to follow. A lot of people
Right.
were like, I don't get it. And it's a lot. And they throw shit tons of world building because it's Joss Whedon, and I think he just bit off
And sometimes people are stoners.
so much.
Well, I think it also kind of trusts the audience that it kind of we know this world.
And some of your own creativity will fill in the blanks, you know?
True. I mean, it's not like it didn't dampen my enjoyment or anything, but I was just like, but why? These
Yeah.
people in particular, they're just bodies.
Call,
I
not
think that's
Cal.
really horrific, actually, if you think about it. They just abducted these people and threw them into stasis.
Yeah.
And they wake up to an alien burst hatching.
Well, the one guy, you get this real kind of sympathetic character who is exactly that, and he comes along late in the movie where he wakes up, and they're
But he's got the chest burster in him.
yeah, and they have to explain this shit to him.
Like,
Although
that's
he's
gonna burst out here shortly.
That actor, he's like a 90s mainstay too.
Oh, character actor. I've seen him tons.
he
remember
seems harmless.
Remember in 7, he was the guy that had the strap strapped to him.
I didn't realize that was
I'm
him.
pretty sure that's him.
You're probably right.
It's like, get it off me!
This poor guy, he's been through
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
He's just is that his character actor lot in life as he gets tortured and killed by different nasty things. But that whole scene is great. It's kind of funny. It's also anxiety inducing.
The scene where they're explaining to him.
They're not. I love that they're talking to each other about it and leaving him out of it.
Oh yeah.
Until eventually Ripley, who has become very Vulcan-esque and logical and cold, is like, this is what's going to happen. A, B, C, D, you die. And this version of Ripley is nuts. I love they explain that like she has all of the aliens like kind of like DNA memory
Well, she's basically like,
and her own.
and it shows in her performance too, because it's very animalistic.
Well, yeah, she's kind of like them, and they're kind of like her now.
Yeah, and like you can see her evolving and growing.
Yeah.
Like observing
She
like
can
the aliens
dunk.
do.
I don't know. Did she get that from the aliens? The ability to do that backhanded dunk?
That was a bad cut.
Yeah.
I love it. I love too that she does that over the shoulder badass thing when she's leaving. And she's like, yeah, I'm a 90-pound woman.
She's
But
bigger. She's more than 90 pounds.
Throw this over my shoulder.
She's a tall
ripped.
lady.
Yeah, but she's so rail thin in this.
She's got nice arms.
She dunks, man. It's like a sneaker commercial. Sigourney's.
This movie could have been camp,
Yeah.
but it pulled back just enough
Yeah, it's just a
that
fun
it doesn't go like overboard with it. Like a lot of times it reminded me of Verhoeven.
Yeah.
Actually.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, it's got that. Especially Dan Hedaya's character, the general.
Exactly. That's a very Verhoeven character.
And they use their breath to unlock doors, which is kind of just a gross. But
It is.
there's a great moment later when they have the key ring that has all the sprays on it that are fake versions of all the crew's breaths. It's just, why do you make that? Like, and that was Call, right? The android character who had that shit.
Winona Ryder. Just say
I'll
Winona
say
Ryder.
Winona.
What happens if he had like a really garlic heavy dinner that night? Will it still recognize your breath?
I don't know. Yeah.
Is it doing a quick DNA test? Isn't there DNA in your...
Dan Hedaya was eating lemons too in this movie. You notice that? He's just eating a lemon.
That's the future for you, baby.
Yeah, maybe it's like a reference to like scurvy and stuff.
yeah.
Maybe that's why he's eating it.
Oh, yeah. He's having some whiskey
Yeah,
with Elgin, I guess is his name, the leader of the pirates.
guy's like a living cigarette, in human form.
A person cigarette.
Yeah,
The whiskey, it's dehydrated. It's like a cube of dehydrated whiskey.
I love that.
Don't you love space food?
Yeah,
And then they just put a little...
some sort
liquid-
of thing happens, and
some sort of something happens, and it's bloop. It's a glass full of whiskey.
It's like little things like that give this movie a lot of character.
Yeah.
Star Trek would never.
Yeah.
It's too gauche.
And another thing I like what the first iteration of the Alien franchise did was it's a very old and decrepit space.
Gritty.
Yeah.
And the food was a
And
big part of it too.
And it's very lived in.
Yeah.
It's not like bright and shiny like a lot of other sci-fi is.
It's very cold.
Yeah.
Always imagine that crew eating in that first movie and like that slop, you know, sci-fi slop.
Like a semblance of noodles and just like it recalls other food, but it's not quite on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nasty.
Yeah.
I love this world so much.
Yeah.
I do too. In this world, Brad Dourif has a kicky little ponytail.
Yeah.
He does. He and his little crew, bunch of weirdos.
They're the bad guys.
Yeah. And so they think they can train the aliens, right? Which is a huge mistake. If you ever have xenomorph, you should never try this. You should just put as much distance between
I coulda
yourself
told
and
them.
that monster as you can get.
I could have told them that.
But instead, they're like, we can. Were they trying to make them weapons? Is that ultimately what it was?
Basically.
Yeah. So I don't know who are we at war with? And they never really get into like.
Nope, you don't get anything beyond the ship.
Yeah, so you don't know this.
The only
military,
thing you know is that nobody wants to go to Earth because it's a shithole.
Right.
That's the only thing you know about anything beyond this ship.
So I'm dying to know more about this particular era in the alien thing, and I'm sure there's probably comics or books. I'm gonna find out later, but I think that there has to be. Is it Earth's military versus other planets, or is something happening on Earth between people on Earth, and why are they out in space and all that? And I know later they kind of blended the Blade Runner universe and the Aliens universe and the Predators universe. Now that's all one thing. So the canon has all that shit in there.
It's a big canon.
Has bits of it though. It picks and chooses because it doesn't. Not everything from like Alien
Big
versus
balls.
Predator.
Big cannon
Well,
balls.
I kind of like how it doesn't need to explain everything to you. You
Yeah.
can kind of fill in the blanks yourself.
Yeah. Well, it's fun. You can make shit up too.
Yeah.
It doesn't. It doesn't have to be right. That's the fun thing.
But
Have a good time
But
with it.
it just shows that the folly of man, that you think you can control these things, never changes, no matter what period it is.
Yeah. In the beginning of this, the tough Joner,
Ron Perlman.
Let's say that Roan Peelman is kind of an ass. He's bullying
He's more than kind of an ass.
the mechanic.
He's an asshole.
Yeah.
Very similar to his Blade character that
Very,
we just watched.
Yeah.
very, very similar. I had that same thought. I was like, he just plays this one kind of guy there for a little while.
They just want him to be a bully all the time.
Right.
So like I know that's an understatement. It's like kind of an ass. That's on purpose. That is just being theatrical. He's a monster. He's dropping knives in people's
And
legs.
also, like, these are like criminal space powers. They're not supposed to be cuddly.
Yeah. Yeah, and he's the perfect example of that. And then you think that the Elgin or whatever, the cigarette man is going to turn something's going to go bad with him, but you never expect that he gets eliminated real early.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna be like the leader of the crew.
Yeah.
And be not a final girl, but like last longer than he did.
Yeah, because that's typical. Yeah, in these kind of stories, you think the guy who's the pilot is going to be flying the ship out at the end. You don't need him when you got Ripley. That's the beauty of it.
But like, also, it's a good thing he's not leading the crew, because he made a really bad decision that led to his death.
What was it again?
Like they were evacuating the ship because all the aliens got loose, and him and his crew were going straight to their ship, and he just saw a gun laying at the end of a hallway by itself, and he's like, "Let me investigate what that is."
Oh, okay, that was what got him killed.
It's all sticky and the gooey.
It's got the
He's
alien
still
goo.
investigating it and just taking his sweet time while people are calling his name, trying to get out. But he's like, "Whoa."
So you get the big reveal after this guy's dead and everybody is scrambling across the I guess it's not really a space station, it's just a bigger ship, right? Or is it a station?
It's a big ship.
It's a big ship.
Just a big ship. Okay, I couldn't
What's the
remember.
difference between a big ship and a space station?
A ship flies places, a space station is
Stays
in
there.
orbit of a planet
Oh, okay.
or a star or whatever, you know. So they're on the bigger ship and they're running all over this thing. And it's a lot like the first one that has those haunted house moments, a lot of those. But like you got this whole other character who I guess is supposed to be like the Paul Reiser kind of guy who ultimately shoots Call. Winona Ryder.
Thank you.
We're gonna be doing that all show, aren't
Yeah. There's
Ron Perlman.
Just call it by his name. It's easier to remember.
I don't know this actor's name. The guy who shoots the android, but this guy is your monkey wrench character who is everything is about. Maybe everybody, if this is like a Poseidon Adventure kind of moment where everybody's getting out and trying to get off the ship, and this guy is just he fucks it up. He's the Billy Zane.
Yeah.
On Titanic.
He's the
kinda.
guy that gets bit by the zombie but doesn't tell anybody.
Yeah.
He's the guy that closes the door in people's faces when they're running to safety.
He's just a chaos agent.
Yeah.
He's thrown in there to fuck up their shit. And he does. And it results in not everybody getting off the ship alive. When before it felt like maybe things could have turned out okay. There's a lot of doubling back that causes people some misery too. Like Ripley has to go back to the little laboratory where she can see all her little half-done brothers and sisters. Oof.
Yeah, the room of mistakes.
Yeah.
That's what you call them.
It was gross, disturbing, and she really played that super sad, like horrified too when she found the last one.
But also, it's the first time that she showed any emotion at all.
Yeah,
throughout the whole movie until that point, because she was basically a newborn and still discovering the world and getting used to her alien body.
Yeah,
but then she sees all these experiments that didn't succeed, and then she sees another alien Ripley clone that didn't that's still alive but is all messed up, and
the chicken wing, hairy armpit.
Yeah.
A chicken wing and a hairy armpit together, like
was it hairy? I didn't notice it was hair.
I looked at Amy and I said, "Do you think that Ripley is just horrified that this clone of her didn't shave her armpit?"
Well, it's a French director, so it's very European.
Oh, that's what it is.
Very sexy.
Yeah.
The chicken wing thing though was too much for me. Deal breaker.
Real upsetting.
Yeah.
The whole look of the body, and it was like, kill me.
Yeah.
But then she kills her in a very inhumane way.
What did she do again?
She's a flamethrower.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Sets her on fire.
She's got what you think is a gun. And I'm like, cool. Put one between the eyes. She's dead.
The flamethrower is a classic Ripley
Let's
instrument.
just go ahead and burn it to death so it screams for a while.
Did she think maybe it's because she saw the chicken wing? She's like, I gotta roast this bitch.
Put that in some.
That was a weird choice. I get
hot sauce and
why.
Like visually, it's really cool.
But I had the same thought.
At the same time, like you got guns right between the eyes. Done.
Yeah. She burns it up. Maybe she wanted to destroy everything though, so she burned up not just that particular one.
No, you can
but
still shoot the tubes,
the vats. Yeah, you could, I guess. But remember, they were talking about running out of ammo and wasting ammo.
I guess, but
maybe
still.
that's why. Or maybe
I just felt bad.
We just want to see shit burn.
Yeah,
you know?
I just felt bad for Chicken Wing Ripley.
Yeah, it was sad. You should have wrapped her in foil before you did that.
Yeah, you're gonna dry that out.
Yeah.
Well, you won't dry it out. Like you'll burn the outside before the inside's cooked.
Yeah,
and it'll be like
just an unpleasant
overcooked
experience.
Raw situation.
Your Ripley wing will not be up to par. Chewy, overdone. Yeah, I tell you, the flamethrower in Alien Fire Team, when I play with Bill, that video game, and you have the flamethrower, like I can hear Bill always like, I can't see anything because it fills the room with fire.
Man, aren't flamethrowers just cool, aren't they, though?
They are pretty cool. I have one in my shed. Yeah, it's fun.
What do you mean you have a flamethrower? Calm down. What do you have?
Flamethrower. It's a flamethrower.
Is it called a flamethrower?
Yes, it's called a flamethrower.
How far
it
out
doesn't
does
have
flame
a.
get
It's
thrown?
not like the flamethrower Ripley had, where it was a gun. It's just a gardening flamethrower, but it throws flame out like 3 feet.
Oh wow, I did not know we owned that. I don't know if we should.
Yeah, it's great.
They just sell this to people.
You can buy a machete.
It's cheap too.
Still, but
you hook it up to a propane tank.
I'm a lot more scared of a flamethrower than a machete.
That's how I clean up my the cracks.
Like, I know
in my
people
asphalt.
use them to like clear stuff.
Yeah,
and I know that.
Yeah.
A lot of people do it, but still the idea of just going to the store and buying a flamethrower.
Yeah. I want one like in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood that has a backpack. Yeah. I'm always worried that it would explode.
Why did we buy a flamethrower?
To clean up our cracks in our driveway.
Did it help?
Maintain them. Yeah.
Okay, good.
You gotta seal that shit eventually though.
Yep.
That's my tip to you. That's free.
Couple of great quotes from the movie. First is, I am not the man with whom to fuck.
That's Ron Perlman.
Thank you very much.
Joner.
Or Roner, as you like to call him.
Roner.
Everybody enjoys just listening to you figure it out.
I know. They're probably like, you just watched this. How can you not remember the characters' names? I'm like, a lot
I
of
didn't
shit
care.
happened.
Because I was like, oh, that's Ron Perlman.
Yeah.
Who do I have to fuck to get off this boat? I thought that was a little awkward, the line and the line reading.
Who was that from?
It was
Ripley.
Ripley, okay.
She just walks into the room. What is it? And they're on their way to the Betty?
Is
or
this
are they already
after
on the
she
Betty?
shoots the alien through Elgin's body?
Yes. Yes. She shoots
That's
up through
right.
the body.
I forgot the shotgun through the middle. Yeah.
And then she says, who do I have to fuck to get off this boat?
That was actually kind of a great moment, but that did fizzle it a little bit.
Yeah.
That line when reading was kind of corny.
Yeah.
Well, it's that again. This is where it could have gone overboard with the camp, and this is an example. All her one-liners, are an example of it.
She made them up herself, right?
I don't know, but
I think it feels like
to me, it just seems like like a foreign director
Yeah.
trying to do an American action movie.
Yeah. Well, you want catchphrases.
And that's what basically is doing, but he
Yeah.
doesn't really understand it.
I think he knows because "Come with me if you want to live" is kind of corny sometimes too.
But he's just shooting out catchphrases because that's
Yeah.
what he thinks an American action movie needs.
So you think he's just throwing a lot of catchphrases out?
A lot, yeah.
None of them are
Well,
sticking.
you also have Joss Whedon, who's king of that shit.
Yeah,
of
he does that too.
catchphrases. So you have them both working together. It was just a weird.
So
But
you
these-
pop
line
it
read.
like warm champagne.
A lot of these were kind of corny too.
Yeah, very.
Yeah.
Just maybe it's the combination of delivery and the actual lines, but and the fact that all of her dialogue up until a certain point was just one-liners.
Yeah.
That's all I had really as far as quotes, other than Ron Perlman
Was
referring
it-
to
was
Earth as a
it,
shithole.
It's like, was it good for you too, or something? After
Oh, I don't remember that.
Oh, they had kind of like a sleazy
Yeah.
entendre thing going back and forth.
Oh,
like she was kind of teasing
yeah,
Call
yeah,
about
Yeah.
that, and she's like, was it good for you or something?
Yeah. I think this, when this movie came out, I think like Winona Ryder got flack for her part in it from a lot of people, but I think she's great. Honestly, it's a cool character. I like the idea of an android that's so human you would never know the difference.
Right.
And the way the character kind of plays out going to the chapel to hook into like the mainframe of the ship was a really cool touch. That's where you get into everything comes in and out of the ship, I guess, through the chapel.
Yeah.
That was weird. Like,
Well-
signal wise.
Well, like you said, you like Winona Ryder's performance. So how did you guys feel about Sigourney Weaver's? Because it's such a drastic change from.
I'm glad she did it different.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like I at first
She's playing a different character.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because at when the first kind of like, I love the movie, but one of my complaints was her performance. It felt very kind of forced.
Mm-hmm.
But then I realized that it's not the Ripley that from the previous movies.
Right,
It's
yeah.
a hybrid, and she's not going to be the same
Yeah.
character.
And she's a lot, her humanity has been cut down
Yeah.
to a much smaller fraction of
Yeah,
who she is.
and I like how her humanity grows as the movie goes
Yeah.
on too.
Definitely. But through hanging out with someone who isn't human, the android,
Yeah.
they were thinking about that. Joss Whedon was
Yeah.
when he wrote it. He's like, they're gonna think, oh my God, her humanity it's like Data wanting to be more human, but like you flip it and it's the human who needs to be more human.
Oh my
Learning from the android.
Can you believe it?
It's so deep.
There's a cute little moment where they have this big battle with the aliens. Ron Perlman shoots an alien, I think. I can't remember the exact moment, but then he turns around and he sees a spider. And he's like, ah! And he shoots the spider to death.
I didn't like that moment. That poor little spider.
Oh,
Well,
stand a
I
chance.
know, but it was
And it's-
funny.
It was
and
ironic.
that spider just clean up all the other little pests.
He's the
That's-
one. Yeah.
That's the reason you don't have more bugs on the ship, Ron Perlman,
With the
because of spiders.
Clean up the xenomorphs.
Andy is Spider's PR team
You
leader.
know, the irony, he was the one who was bitching about wasting ammo just in the very previous scene, right? Because they had destroyed the clones by then. And he was talking about wasting ammo.
Right.
Da, 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 da.
He shot that spider.
Yeah, but he just shot one single spider
But
with a
that-
whole bullet.
That was a very Whedon thing, that part.
Yeah.
Especially. You can see the Whedon parts and the French auteur parts.
Yeah, they're meeting up.
Yeah.
The thing that the queen gives birth to is terrifying.
Yeah, it's a
We
great
saw
new
that
take.
in Hollywood.
We
Remember?
did, yeah.
At that
Oh, we
museum we
did?
went to?
Oh, I didn't remember that.
There's a picture of me recreating the pose. Like we'll pull it up for you somewhere.
You have to go through old photos.
It's a human alien hybrid, different than Ripley.
It's
This
more
is-
alien than human.
yeah, but it has these eyes and this like face that is it's got human-esque teeth.
Yeah, and it can show expressions
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks
a lot
sad
more
when she
than-
killed
yeah.
it.
Yeah,
because like the xenomorph is kind of like this glossy void that has no eyes, so it can't show emotion.
It's so alien you can't
Yeah.
detect
Yeah.
emotion on
Oh,
its
we
face.
skipped over the fact this is the first alien live birth in that cocooned
It came out of a womb.
bad dwarfs in a fucking cocoon, which I laugh every time they reveal him, and he's just like, "Arr, the little alien baby.
and like how like he is kind of happy to be food for the alien.
Yeah.
Like he's okay with his lot.
He's like, if it has to
'Cause he's
be,
like-
I made this
Yeah,
thing.
because he's contributing to something new. Like he's in it for the science.
He looks like he's in Killer Clowns from
Yeah.
Outer Space and the when they put people in the cotton candy cocoons.
Yeah.
That's what I think of every time I see that
Hey,
scene.
looks so cozy.
It's just his face out. And he has so many memorable roles and weird characters like
Brad
that.
Dourif's the best.
Yeah.
It made me think we should do a month about him.
We should.
I
Yeah.
would be down for that. And then we could watch The Pit. He's on that briefly.
Playing his own daughter's dad, right?
Playing himself,
Yeah,
basically.
after the show, I'll toss his name in the hat.
Do
There
it.
you go. Yeah, so we didn't talk about the aliens. They sacrificed one of their own to escape by creating that puddle of acid in the
Yeah.
the training room.
The one kills the other.
Yeah.
So that the acid from the blood will burn a hole in the ground and they can get free.
Yeah, that was a
that's pretty
cool.
cool.
That was like a very like leading up to that. It was very like Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
With the Velociraptors learning and figuring things out.
Didn't you feel too that like they should have known better? Like you're like, okay, they know. Don't they know that aliens blood is
maybe,
acid?
but maybe they didn't expect the aliens to kill each other like
not
that.
to have
Yeah.
self-preservation. So yeah, that's kind of what gets the whole ball rolling is that escape. And fast forward, we already talked about the other thing in between, but you get to the ladder sequence, which I think is my favorite part of the movie.
Yeah, that is pretty tense.
Because before that, everyone's underwater.
That was a pretty tense, like
The
pretty
swimming
tense.
and the ladder scene.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Back to
that
back.
whole sequence between like the underwater scene and the ladder thing.
I think it holds up.
Yeah,
Like,
and
it looks good.
just watching that, I was like, oh god, I'll be so dead right now.
If you tried to hold, every time I'm like, I'm gonna try to hold my breath for
Yeah.
a little bit. It doesn't last
Yeah,
long.
everybody does that in a pool. Like you see how long you just can sink to the bottom and hold your breath.
Right.
But then we're not swimming across like a kitchen like these
Yeah.
guys are.
and being pursued by
Yeah.
monsters.
But this is before you know Winona Ryder's an android, so you're like really concerned for her.
Yeah.
But turns out she would have been fine.
She's a badass character.
She's a robot.
The
But like that
movie.
scene, like the lady pirate, she gets grabbed and just pulled back, and that was like one of the scariest things. Even though there's like no violence or gore,
Yeah.
just the fact of her like being pulled back and screaming, and like because you kind of know what's gonna happen, but just her just disappearing was very like effective to me.
Yeah. I think the aliens are really scary in this one.
Yeah.
Like especially in the water was a whole new level of like they like sharks almost.
Well, and also these aliens, they seem smarter than other
Well, they
iterations.
are.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they said when they were talking about. They're like, it has a memory that like whatever the latest iteration of the alien is. And not only did it benefit from like all the gene editing, it also carried its memories through. So like the latest ones, they everything their generations before had learned, they knew instinctually.
Yeah, and basically leading before the ladder scene and in between the water scene, they had to punch through this
Oh yeah,
alien like wet
membrane.
membrane.
So it was a
Yeah.
trap.
Yeah, they said it was a trap, and like, oh, these aliens, they think.
Yeah.
They're insane in the membrane.
I love it. I think this is a great movie. Honestly, underrated.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
I mean, obviously, Aliens is the perfect action horror sci-fi movie. You'll never
think-
duplicate it.
But I like how this one leans more into horror
Yeah,
than the action. Like Alien is more action than horror, and I like how each one of the first 4 movies in this series feel so different from each other,
Right.
but they still all work together.
Right. Yeah.
And this one, I think, is the most stylish of all the movies.
definitely.
It has its more of identity, like the stamp from the director, than the other movies do.
And when they gave Joss Whedon the job, they let him do what he wanted. So like, there's all kinds of new stuff that was brought into the world building part of it that hadn't existed prior to this movie. Even though I hear he's a rough dude to work for.
Yeah, apparently.
What I've heard.
Apparently.
I think you've all heard that too.
But
Oh,
I feel
have.
more from the director than
Yeah.
Joss Whedon from this movie.
Yeah, the style. Because if you look at Delicatessen,
Yeah.
it has a lot in common with this. Yeah, I love it. Have you seen Delicatessen?
No,
right? You haven't seen that one?
Maybe. I don't remember. I've seen Amelie.
Amelie's really good.
Yeah.
We should watch some of his other movies.
But you can
Amy. might
definitely
like 'em.
tell, like the color grading from this movie is very influenced by like Amelie and Delicatessen.
Yeah, it looks just like the same color
Yeah.
scheme as Delicatessen. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
anything else you guys want to say about Alien Resurrection?
Oh, like the end part that was
Yeah.
pretty. Like another
Oh,
thing I
God,
like about
yeah.
this movie is like it's so well paced.
I did think it got a little
Did it?
longish
What
for
part
me.
you think?
We were about an hour in, and I accidentally kicked the remote,
Oh,
and I was like, I could have told you we were an hour and a half
Oh,
in.
okay.
The movie was almost over, but it was only an hour in.
to me, I thought it threw us in really quick and got the action going.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's not like a huge problem
Yeah.
for me, but I did think it was a little long in the tooth.
But there were so many parts in the end that were really cool, like the guy that had the chest burster in him,
Right.
grabbing
Oh
the
yeah, finally pays off.
grabbing the bad guy and having the chest burster go through the bad guy.
Right.
In the scene at the end where that poor little baby alien gets his head sucked through the
Aw.
The sucking through scene was pretty great.
yeah.
It was kind of pitiful too, like you were saying. The
it was
expressions.
so offended that this
Yeah.
was happening to it. It was like, what? What did I do? It's like, sir.
Well, I
This
get
is
it.
a
It's a
Wendy's.
baby. it's literally less than an hour old.
Yeah, it's not smart enough yet.
And we didn't mention like that the baby it kills its mother, the alien queen. A great sequence.
Yeah.
Just wipes his jaw off and kills his.
Yeah, it was like when on MasterChef when somebody doesn't know how to open up like seafood, they tear its head off before they've killed it.
And then they have to be talked
Yeah.
to.
Yeah,
That is not how we do that. That is animal cruelty.
But I think it pairs well with the other scene where the aliens kill the other alien to get the blood.
Oh, it makes sense what
Yeah.
they're doing. They have a point. You don't realize the whole time they are coming to this baby
Yeah.
being born, and that's the whole idea is that they're ready to do another step in their evolution.
And also, it just shows this brutality of the species. you know?
Yeah. I can't wait to get back into Prometheus and start over and just watch that and get back. I want to watch all these chronologically. I love this whole world. I can just soak it up. It's rich.
You should soak it up in a tub.
It's a
Yeah.
rich text.
It really is.
All right. Anything else?
I have nothing else to say other than, like you said, the death scene's amazing where Ripley uses her acidic blood to create a tiny little hole where that fucking alien's brains and guts and everything gets sucked out. The whole sequence I think is worth revisiting just by itself on YouTube.
Yeah.
Just enjoy it.
Yeah, if it doesn't work for you as a whole, a movie, like there's individual scenes that you can pick and watch
Yeah.
and really enjoy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got a lot of little vignettes.
He's staring at me.
I didn't know. We
You said
ready to move
vignettes
on
and
to
then you
the
stare at me.
algorithm? Darling?
Sure.
We finally watched Abigail. At least I did. I think Amy fell asleep.
Amy
What's
fell
your-
asleep.
What'd you think? I liked it
I
a lot.
loved it.
It was so fun.
Yeah, it was. I love the house that it was set in. That kid is awesome.
I saw the
Who
end.
plays Abigail?
She was a horror hound.
Was she
Oh,
really?
was there? I didn't realize that.
Oh.
Super talented.
They had like a kind of a mini reunion there.
Yeah.
Catherine Newton was there.
Oh,
Melissa
yeah, she was
Barrera, the tall. Did I say Kevin Nash?
Is that his name?
Is that the
The
tall
big guy?
guy? The tall guy.
Durand? Is it Kevin
Durant.
Durand?
Anyway, the
Something
tall
like
guy,
that.
the big
Yeah.
guy, he was there, and the Abigail character. I think that was it, but it was cool that they had a kind of reunion there.
Right. I support Melissa Barrera. I think her voice is important, and I respect all of her opinions, and I genuinely agree with her.
Yes, I think she got done dirty,
She's just not my cup of tea when it comes to acting.
but she was a lot better than she was in the Scream movies.
yeah, that's true. There was a little bit
So
more
I-
charisma there.
So to me, it's maybe more about the role
Yeah.
than not necessarily the actress.
Right.
Miscasting.
Maybe a little
Right.
bit of both, but I liked her a lot more than Scream.
I only saw a little bit of this movie.
Yeah.
I fell asleep.
You should
but-
watch. It's worth getting into and watching the whole thing. It's fun. Did I mention Lisa and the Devil last time we recorded?
I don't think so.
It's you can watch it a number of places out there, but it's a Mario Bava movie from the 70s. It has Telly Savalas as like this butler character who does a lot of other things in the story. But if you like old Dark House movies, it's a really fun one.
I love the title. It's the
Yeah.
70s.
Yeah, and Lisa's a tourist, and she ends up going to this old house, and it's got all the tropes in there, like the painting that looks like her, and blah 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 blah. But it's Bava, you know, it's got that his style. It's a little, they're a little slow. These 70s movies are a
Is
little
it sexy?
slower. Yeah, it's very sexy. There's a yeah, check it out. We watched a really bad movie called Vengeance of the Dead too. It was a riff tracks though.
It was part 2 or
No, as
it was
well.
Okay.
Vengeance of the Dead on riff tracks.
Yeah, riff tracks it's like empty calories.
Yeah,
And this was the emptiest of calories. They barely made this movie watchable.
wasn't it Thor? What's his name from Hard Rock Zombies? And he gets murdered, and they bring him back with voodoo. Or am I thinking of a different movie we watched?
You're thinking of an entirely different movie. There were no zombies in Vengeance of the Dead.
No, Vengeance of the Dead is the one with the old man.
They killed a bunch of grandpas.
That's right. I got it mixed up with another riff tracks we watched.
Yeah.
And do the grandpas come back? Is that the vengeance?
No, I don't think they do.
They kill a
I
bunch
can't
of
really
grandpas.
remember.
Oh, poor little grandpas.
Yeah.
Because I'm just there for the jokes. I'm not really paying attention as much to the actual plot. Clearly, Freddy isn't.
No, I wasn't either. We watched another one that was like,
We watched a couple back to back
Yeah.
that were. I don't even remember the second one. Don't even ask me.
Yeah.
fair enough.
We don't need to name them all either.
Yeah, for real.
Because that's all you guys watch now.
We watched too many riff tracks.
We do watch a lot.
And the last thing, Righteous Gemstones, I watched the final episode today. Of the
Oh, it
Righteous
wrapped up?
Gemstones. Yeah,
Was it satisfying?
it was. It was also like so sad to not be able to go back again. You know, I want to start over. It's so good. You know, even though these characters are all just the most flawed characters
Yeah.
you can imagine,
Right.
like you still miss them at the end badly.
Well, I think that's what modern TV is now. Like, you don't get 8, 9 seasons anymore.
No.
I'm glad that I like it's 4 and they didn't.
Yeah,
they never ruined
And
it.
4 and 5 is kind of the sweet spot
Yeah,
for like good TV, and then normally it takes a cliff dive from there.
yeah. That's not to say that people haven't pulled off like a great series
Yeah.
that has 20 plus episodes a season, but it's like so rare. Cheers. That's about it.
Cheers.
Can't think of another one. Some people say that about Friends, but I feel like they hung on just 2 years too long.
Yeah, Seinfeld too, I think.
Yeah, although I was still laughing at Seinfeld at least.
But like, it's not,
Wasn't as good.
Yeah.
But it was. They were still landing a lot of jokes. The reverse episode there was pretty fun. Yeah.
And you guys, all the trash you guys watched.
That's all the trash that I've ever had.
Also wanted to say we've been watching Reacher.
Oh yeah.
What is it?
Reacher.
They said creature.
No, Reacher. I said it kind of weird. Sorry. No, it's on Amazon, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And it's based on the Lee Child books about a character named Jack Reacher.
No, I know what the series is.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
it's Alan Richardson.
Yeah.
Big giant dude.
Apparently appropriately cast.
Yeah.
As opposed to the Tom Cruise
Cruise.
Reacher movie.
Yeah.
That's so weird they did that. Although I did like the Tom Cruise Reacher movies because Werner Herzog's a villain in the first one. That was enough for the price of admission, in my opinion. He's a weirdo.
Yeah, so we've only seen the first 2 episodes of the first season, and the reason why I'm even mentioning that is because I keep falling asleep. It's so cozy. The show is cozy, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a classic it's like the Incredible Hulk kind
You
of
fall
thing.
asleep at everything.
I
though.
know, but
Yeah.
this show especially, I was trying real hard last night to stay awake for the second episode because I fell asleep during the first one and I don't know what was happening, so I was trying to pay attention to the second one.
Yeah.
Is it he just goes town to town and solves
Well, they're doing.
stuff?
I think they're doing a whole season in one town. Like, so you know how in like Incredible Hulk he would go, or The Fugitive, he'd be in a different town every week.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be like I thought it was along like Quantum Leap or Incredible Hulk or Highway to Heaven.
I
No.
think it's going to be seasonal though. I think like
Yeah.
this season he's in this small
okay.
town. Next
Dealing
season
with this
right.
mystery, and then there'll be another one.
He's a
next
hobo.
season.
He calls himself a
Yeah.
hobo.
It's adorable and it's real campy and it's kind of silly and I don't think they intend it to be.
No.
You know what I mean?
Oh,
but
so
it's fun.
So it's campy then.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they truly did not know that they were doing that, I think.
He talks like a kid trying to act badass.
There's a little bit of that.
There's a lot of that. He's like, you could tie me up like this, but you should know that I can kill you in 10 seconds. And then I'll kill your friend. And then I'm going to kill everybody on the perimeter and I'm going to leave and you're going to be sorry.
Well, that makes me kind of think it's intentional then, isn't it?
I don't know.
He's such a great
so
comedic
cute.
actor
Yeah.
anyway. Like if you watch Blue Mountain State, he's fucking hilarious. So I don't know how much of it is. I'm not here to pick it apart.
Yeah, don't pick it apart.
Like,
Just enjoy it.
Like how silly it is. I don't want to think too much about like what their intentions were.
Because I have a frail brain. It can't deal with a lot of challenge.
I can't remember names.
I have
or
enough
places.
anxiety and depression going on. I can't take a television show that's going to spark anything less than joy.
Well, the idea of it is also kind of campy, and I feel like they're kind of leaning into it.
I hope.
It feels like. Did you remember when they
Continues that
made
way.
Heat of the Night into a TV series? I mean, the movie's an awesome movie, and I like the TV show. Okay, but it reminds me of Heat of the Night, the TV show. If you watch that, it has that kind of vibe.
Now
But
that
also-
is an old reference,
Yeah.
Peepaw.
Well, even if it's not intentional, there's something to be said about sincerity.
Yeah,
Exactly.
You know,
yeah.
And there's just something about it that it makes me happy.
I
But
wish
it
my
puts me
dad
to
were
sleep.
alive to see it.
Your
He loves
dad
Jack
would
Reacher
love it.
sounds like a
books.
very 70s or 80s show.
Your dad read
Yeah.
a lot of the Jack Reacher books. He would
Yeah.
love this.
He loved.
That's why
Little
we got to
Child.
watch it for him.
Yeah.
And I'm going to stay awake for a whole episode.
And apparently, Alan Richards is a really good guy in real life too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a cool dude.
Amy sent me an article when I was kind of learning that I had bipolar disorder, and he was like the article you sent me.
Yeah.
helped
Him
me
talking about his
recognize-
bipolar.
Yeah, helped me recognize what was going on.
And he's an unabashed liberal too.
And you got to love it.
And I remember him before anything. He was on American Idol.
Was he really?
He auditioned,
Oh,
and I remember his audition. He came back and he kind of did like a striptease for Paula Abdul.
Was he a good singer?
Decent singer, like he got more through on personality
Right.
Yeah.
than anything. But I just remember,
That's so funny.
you know, when they get to the Hollywood rounds, and they made him seem like he wasn't taken seriously, and him like partying in the pool.
Oh yeah.
I see.
Like they made him kind of to be a himbo,
Yeah.
which he kind of is. But like,
He kind of is.
well, I'm glad you're enjoying Reachers. Like,
Yeah.
I've heard nothing but good things about
I need
it.
a new show. So there you go.
But my thing I watched, I saw Thunderbolts.
Oh, yeah.
To me, Marvel's back, baby.
Good.
It just felt so like the first wave of Marvel movies. It's not the CGI overload you see
I
nowadays.
saw a headline that they described it as if A24 made a Marvel movie.
A little bit, like because
Yeah?
it kind of gets into like goes to dark places for the characters
Oh,
and stuff like that. But I just miss just fighting,
Yeah.
like action like that
Real
in Marvel
people.
movies. Yeah.
Not CG.
Yeah, and like locations that are sets and stuff like that. And this one reminded me a lot of like the Captain America series, where
Yeah.
it's a good mix of like character stuff and action. And
Oh,
this
yeah.
one
I love
focused a
those
lot on the
movies.
characters. That's why you kind of care about the Marvel universe, because you get to know these people and stuff like that.
Are you
And-
up? Like, are you caught up on everything, like series and everything? Oh, okay.
But I don't think you necessarily need to watch that stuff.
Yeah.
The series especially. Like I kind of knew these from the previous movies and stuff like that. But yeah, really good. I liked it a lot.
Who's in it?
David Harbour.
David Harbour, Florence Pugh.
Oh, from what movie was that?
Black Widow.
Black Widow.
Yeah, those
Same-
characters.
Yeah, same thing with
Okay.
Florence Pugh. She was like a Black Widow character
Right.
too. Ghost, she was from Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yeah.
Forgot the name.
White Russell's character.
Yeah, White Russell.
Yeah.
And Lewis Pullman, our co-star.
Oh, Lewis Pullman. That's cool. I didn't know he was in
Strangers
this.
Apparent Night
Is this
makes appearance.
his first
Yeah.
Marvel movie?
Yeah, he's introduced in
That's
this
cool.
one. And Julie Louis-Dreyfus is kind of like the new head.
Oh yeah.
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 Well, she was in some of the series.
Hawkeye.
Yeah, or something like that.
Yeah.
And yeah, and they all have really good chemistry. Florence Pugh, Freddy's favorite, is really good.
I love her. Did you watch? There's a show about food where they take a celebrity to where their roots are from, and they learn all about the food. I can't remember the name of it, but it's if you Google.
It's one
that.
of the Queer Eye guys
Yeah.
Yeah,
that hosts
it's
it.
Yeah.
Florence Pugh on that one.
Yeah, she
'Cause
was
I know
in the
she's a
first
big-
episode.
I know
yeah.
she's a big foodie.
It was UK centric. It talked about fishmongers, all kinds of stuff. It was pretty cool.
And watching this, you really know that Wyatt Russell is Kurt Russell's son.
Yeah.
Just like his mannerisms and his performance, it reminded me a lot of Big Trouble in Little China.
Oh, awesome. You know,
That jocular character, like kind
Yes.
of jerky.
I love Wyatt Russell. The only thing I've ever seen him in I didn't like was Night Swim.
Was that the haunted pool movie?
Yeah.
It
Other than
deserves a
that, he's
quiet
great.
night.
Yeah. And Lewis Pullman, for the first time, I found him attractive in this movie.
Really?
Well, good for you.
I don't know what
And
it
good
is.
for him.
Yeah, it's
Because he was a kid before.
a little bit.
Now he
And
looks like a
he
man.
always had like a very baby face.
Yeah.
But now he's kind of like grown into his own a little bit.
Yeah.
So yeah, good movie. I like Thunderbolts a lot, and I like the direction they're moving. I hope to see more of these characters.
We have to start Loki season 2 is where
Oh my
we're
God,
at in the
there's so much
timeline.
stuff to do.
Too much.
Ay. Just leave me alone. Let me
Really?
fall asleep during Reacher.
We watch so much garbage instead. We'll watch
The
like
Drew Carey show isn't going to watch itself.
True. Drew Carey show rewatch. That's our background.
That's my background show.
Zone out
I have to have
show.
one background show and one main show that I watch. So right now that's Drew Carey show Reacher.
Y'all.
In case anybody's wondering.
I hope you can. Hopefully, I hope you can stay awake.
I hope I can stay awake too.
I'm still trying to see all the movies that I should see before I die, kind of, is where I'm at.
Still need to see Sinners.
I gotta see Sinners.
I saw that for the second time.
Yeah.
I went to because they were leaving IMAX theaters because Thunderbolts was coming in.
Right.
So I went to see it at our IMAX before they left, and it's even better on a big screen.
Yeah.
And I bought a ticket in 2 weeks. I'm going to travel to Indianapolis to see it on a true IMAX theater.
Crazy boy.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know it either. Apparently, there's only like 10 true IMAX theaters in the country.
Okay.
But I guess they use actual film.
Uh-huh.
And
Oh, the
sound
projectors
system-
are real film projectors.
I think that's what it is. Don't
Yeah.
quote me on that. But
I'm
it
quoting
just seems
him.
like a big deal.
Yeah.
Like true IMAX, I mean.
Was a normal ticket price?
A little more.
A little more?
Yeah.
That sounds like fun. I might join you if it's not crazy expensive.
But
Well-
it just shows you how good this movie is. I'm willing to travel 4 hours in total to see it.
Right.
And my third, maybe fourth viewing.
Oof, that is a bit of a turnaround on the drive there, isn't it?
Ednet.
But then you wouldn't be alone driving. It'd be safer.
Yeah, that's true. You got time to think about it. All right. At the end of every show, we always say hi to our Beelzebubs. Patreon.com/NOTLP if you want to become one. Then we'll say your name. And wouldn't that be fun? All right. Here are the names. Matt, Branan and Emily, Jeffel, Dr. Brian, Old Dirty Bill Sturd. Sorry about that. Bill Fahrner, Blayne Yogurt, Jordache Jeans, Monica, Jeremy, Cassie, and Gamora, Ernest, Dave, and Paul.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Thank you so much for your support.
We
All
love
right,
you.
so
for
next
listening.
week we'll be back with Overlord, right?
Yeah.
Overlord.
Wyatt Russell.
Oh, is he in that too?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
If I remember right, I think he was.
Crazy.
What in the world? Cool.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Frankenstein was wondering if he should go to bed when his old buddy